Hi, thank you for the invitation to be a part of the conference. Today, I will share a presentation about company culture, about company values, and gamification. My name is Arturs Bernovskis, and I'm a researcher at Riga Technical University, and as well a serial startup entrepreneur. I had the privilege of experiencing both startup world and the transformative power of gamification in the context of company culture. Today, we will dive into fascinating world of gamification, startup world, and company cultures with the company values. My beginning or journey in the startup world was approximately already 2 decades ago. I had a limited knowledge about business development, and I didn't know nothing about company culture and company values. I just had the idea to develop some startup, and at that time, booming was social network platforms. So my idea was simple. I found co-founders. One was tech guy, he was programmer, another was designer. And in few months, we developed own social network. We had some idea it will be a super fast journey. And as a startup business plan was, so we will invite friends, the friends will invite another friends, and our marketing plan was already on the right. But in reality, of course, was not so easy. And during this period, we work remotely and tried to learn more about digital marketing. We experienced, as most of the startups, we failed as well. And at that moment, we start to experience some new ideas, and we try to experiment and develop some new features, new platforms, and new products. One of the product was as well related to digital marketing. And as we develop our digital marketing skills, we start to invest our knowledge into new products. Building a business around social network provides challenging and prompting us diversity. So we try various concepts, and from one experience come up email marketing platform Manager. At the beginning, it was just another product within our portfolio, but it was growing very, very fast. Every quarterly team was on a double size bigger. At that moment, I start to think about company values and how to create a motivated team. The bedrock of any organization is the company values. Company values are guiding principles that shape an organization cultures, defining that it stands for and believes in. The values serve as a compass, direction, decision, behaviors, and interactions within the workplace. My first experience or even experiment with company values was I didn't know nothing about company values. So I check competitors, I check big corporations, what they say about company values, and I try just to copy or reflect with the keywords what were interesting for me. But in reality, of course, there is a group and there is a team. It's very easy in a group when there is a one top manager to bring or influence all knowledge about values into a group. But nowadays, most of have teams. In the teams, employees interact with each other. The designer interact with the programmer interact with the marketing team interact with the sales team, and sales team again interact with the designer. So in a tech company, we had experience each employee interact with each other. So one of the powerful outcomes of the shape company values is the strengthening of the team. Teams that align with embrace these values tend to be more cohesive, comprehensive, and effective. And as well, collaboration in these teams are much higher than without values. So we talk about team building, and core of the team building, it comes into many aspects. It comes to the leadership, it comes to communication, to collaboration, and cooperation. And there is a one important keyword, motivation. But what is motivation? Motivation is the lifeblood of a productive and engaged workforce. We know about two type motivations, stick or carrot. Does it still work, stick or carrot motivation? Yes, but do we need stick or carrot, or in what moment we need to change motivation to a new level? And here comes gamification. Gamification can connect intrinsic and extrinsic motivation for employee engagement, as we can see from researchers. But motivation is not just an intrinsic and extrinsic combination. It as well brings more theories for our motivational journey. I like Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi theory or flow theory. And flow theory introduces us to achieving the optimal state of engagement in the work. As we can see in the figure, there is on one side challenges, and another side we have abilities. Employees have challenges on everyday tasks. When they don't have challenges, and then at the same moment they don't have abilities, they are depressed and sad. They have apathy. But the another side, for example, when they have a lot of challenges, like in daily tasks, or when they need to achieve next levels and they don't have abilities to achieve these results, they are stressed. And we don't want to bring the stress in our environment. So there is a flow at the moment when employees have a lot of challenges, so they need to achieve some results. At the same time, they have all abilities, all tools, all skills, what is necessary to achieve these results. And there comes flow, focus, happiness. I like an additional theory, which comes a motivation-driven educational game design, and especially I choose from this design for music education. And given this creative nature of music, it aligns closely with the concept of company values, because company values as well is something creative, something inspirational. And as you can see in this design, there is a fun, there is a learning, there is a feeling. So there comes emotions. And where we create emotions? We create emotions here in the brain. Emotions bring addictions. Gamification make addictions. Is it good or bad to have addictions? Addictions, there is no bad addictions or good addictions as a definition of addiction. It comes to what we have addictions. Addictions create hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphin, and it programs us. And gamification as well create a program for us. So if we have addiction to a healthy thing, to things what brings us to next level, and addiction to education, that is good, right? Of course, we know a lot about bad addictions. So now in this gamification, we try to achieve addiction to a good, and as well addiction to a company values. So here comes help from gamification. Gamification is pivotal in enhancing the flow experience, making tasks more engaging and rewarding. Gamification a theme you're likely to encounter in the application of game elements in non-game context, such as employee training and training of the company values. Gamification is more just adding game-like elements, like rewards or leaderboard. It's about leveraging psychology to drive engagement and behavioral change. And at the moment when company have or try to implement values in a team, they need to bring behavioral change in a team. So game elements, as we define, is incorporating in a non-game context. Usually we talk about rewards, points, badges, leaderboard, but there is, as we know, much more design elements, mechanics, and dynamics. And from my experience as well, I try to engage with gamification into my startup team. So at that moment, I start to understand more about company values. And as many organizations struggle with bringing these values into life, I start to think, okay, now we have new values. We have new values and we try to implement these values. So how do I come up with my new values in a managing company? I create a brainstorm session with a core team. So my co-founders, I invite them into brainstorm session, and I try to understand each person core value. So we bring our values on the table, we share with them, we discuss, and then at the end we come up with the 4 core values what we had. And then I come up with a question, okay, now we have a new values. We have these values in our core team. How now we can implement these values in a team of a 50 person, which is something new for them. So we change our brand, we change our concept. So as well, we implement all new core values elements everywhere. And of course, as a tech company, our core place was website. So we make a lot of changes on a website. First of all, we put a real person there. No more stock pictures, real persons. And as well, employees start to believe they're part of the company. We implement values through all aspects, as well through daily life, the daily behaviors. Of course, we put posters as well, but we start to use gamification. And for example, one of the gamification element was already in the onboarding process for new employees. At that time, I had already begun implementing the gamification into every step of new employee journey. And here, for example, is a sample of a roadmap for a new employee. When they come to our company, they need to complete these tasks. And after they are completing these tasks, they receive some rewards. As well, they engage in fun activities, and it fosters collaboration and interact with existing team members. So, for instance, the tasks include playing table football with some new colleague, having lunch with a colleague which was supported from a company. As well, they need completing some tasks related to escape room challenges. So they had fun, they have interaction, collaboration, and as well, there was leadership because they had to interact with own top manager. And surprisingly, it works very well. And what was even better is that they have all enjoyed it's so much they begin sharing their experience of company on their own social network profiles. So they took selfies, they start to share, they start to show how they love these new values. And that moment, I understand it was the right way. And as every company have own vision, own experience, our had its own unique journey, and I concluded by selling to a unicorn level startup company, Pipedrive. At that moment, I figure out, okay, that's moment we have raised. So company values matters and gamification matters. And I had new journey. Then I had new idea to create a platform for company culture, which I named Effectio. Leveraging gamification, we assist companies in instilling their values within their team. And we do this with the technology. Why technology? Because technology is a key. With the technology, you can personalize experiences. Technology allows organization to tailor experience to individual preferences. And as well, what is most important, data. Data-driven insights, advanced analytics provide invaluable insights. So HR, CEO, and top managers can make decisions based on data. And we had a lot of different type of data. Interaction with each other, interaction with the values, and we collect substantial data, allowing us to provide insights to HR, to SEOs, top managers regarding their teams' alignment with the company values. But one tool doesn't work for everyone. We also developed a platform enabling every player or every employee as a player to engage in the company gamification activities. We know the part player types, and there is a killers, achievers, socializers, explorers, and each player type have own aim or own motivation. I like more this expanded Bartle player types. So, for example, of course, killers or fighters, they focus on winning on a leaderboard. And it's kind of easy to achieve in a gamification, but how about another player types? Achievers, for example, would like to get badges. They would like to get some new knowledge or new levels. Socializers, they don't care about point leaderboard. They want to interact with each other. That's why socializers could be they perfectly fit into social networks. And there is explorers. They would like to discover something new. They will learn something new. Of course, there is not typical one type. Each person have some part of killer, achiever, socializer, explorer, but still, like, we have main player and then like second level player inside every person, every employee. So we develop platform for every person. So every employee could have own interaction on own level. So platform have leaderboard, feedback, surveys, badges, and other gamification elements and mechanics. And companies could provide option or possibilities to employees that attract and achieve results individually and as well in the teams. So when they finish a tasks, they receive points individually and as well as a team members. So they collect points as well in the teams. But how big team should be? I like Jeff Bezos' suggestion from Amazon CEO and founder. So he suggests the team size should be of size of 2 pizzas. So 2 pizzas are enough for a team like 7 to 10%. And from our experience, when we work with the companies, we would suggest the same. So companies should have teams of 7 to maximum 10 person. So in this size of the teams, they can interact with each other, they can collaborate. And we saw already when teams was more bigger size of more than 10 person, they didn't interact with each other. They was not as a team. So how it looks in our platform, employees apply for activities related to company values. Then they compete with the colleagues. There is a leaderboard as well. They communicate with each other. They have they can comment for each task. As well, they could give a likes like on Facebook or Instagram to another person. So when employee get a like, they receive additional point. As well, they are motivated to share a feedback and as well collect some data from the feedbacks. And of course, rewards. Like everybody likes to get reward and prizes. At the end, company receive valuable insights about what's happening in the company related to the values. So here is an example from one of our clients. They are blockchain tech company Paybis. So we gamified for them a company values in a team. They have, as a tech company, team around the world. I think, as I remember, there was more than 10 countries. So team worked remotely from 10 countries. So instead of just telling them about the brand and company values, employees interact with the brand in the funny tasks. And they start to understand real meaning of the values. And they are motivated to create a funny pictures or to bring a funny results because they share results with the colleagues. And they try to get likes, and likes means a point. So they start to be creative, start to bring more interesting into more interesting values into a company. So, for example, if the company value is flexible thinking with unusual way. So how to tell employees, look, we are flexible in the thinking, and we should do challenges in an unusual way. So there is a task. Each person show how they interact, how they feel this value. They give a likes. They live this whole value through like learning by doing, and they share with each other. And this is how we had already experience with more than 100 companies. We gamified these values in a daily base, and we create usually 30-day challenges with the company values. So of course, reward-centric gamification can serve immediate objectives or engage participants lacking personal investment or initiate motivation. However, such results may diminish intrinsic motivation, and in the long term, it can create problems for engagement. So this gamification can bring more values in a short term, like 30-day challenges, but in long term, it could bring some other issues in internal communication. And if you want to know more about meaningful gamification, I have my paper about meaningful gamification outcomes for business needs, and this was related to my researches regarding company values. And as well, from one of my latest researches, I have come up with another paper which I present on a conference. So teams, or be a part of the team in a gamification level, it brings more motivation to be whole journey with the company. So it means we had experiments and tests when company create challenges only individually, and some companies created challenges only in the teams. And we saw when employees or participants was participating in a challenge only individually, they end or finish the challenge earlier than they was participating in the teams. So teams internally motivate each other to finish whole 30-day challenge than only individually. And we can see the results are just show to be a part of the team will give more motivation to finish everything which related to challenges and knowledge. How to start? I would say most important is leaders should participate in challenges or learning company values. So core team leaders should be a part of this journey. As well, there should be a clear goals, rules, structure, and guidance about this funny 30-day challenge about how to interact with the company. And as well, there should be a storytelling. And for company values, it's very easy to show narrative or story like, look, we're a company, this is our values, let's come up and learn what the values mean, because it will bring benefits to our company and we will be more productive and engaged. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very happy to be a part of a conference. Feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, so you can send me an email, and hopefully I could participate next year at your conference and live. Thank you very much. See you. Hopefully it was very useful as well. Thank you.